And now, with all due respect to the diplomatic pushes and the military maneuvers, we want to go back to the people. And we are delighted to welcome here in studio Ruth and Zvika Green-Glick, parents of Captain Shaul Green-Glick, who fell in battle in the Gaza Strip, and Leah Schneer, the chairwoman of Labanim's Friends Association. All of you here to share with us the grief and how to turn the pain into fuel for action, into spreading light, if you will. Thank you all very much for joining us here tonight. Mrs. and Mr. Green-Glick, you know, there are so many moments, stories in the past few months that are forever engraved in our nation's heart, and yet the one of your son, Shaul or Shauli, and this image of you, Zvika, wearing his uniform, saluting him for the last time. I'm saying it and I'm choking. Is really a unique one, Ruth.
Well, you don't choose your battles.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we're part of hundreds and hundreds of families. That's the first thing we told our kids. We're not different than any other people that are trying and leaving a lot behind to be there for the nation and for the country. And I think Shauli, with his decision to leave his future, his dream, and as he said, he posted to give another push for his old dream, his big dream to save the country. He was a katzin, he was an officer, yeah, in the army, and he decided to put this in front.
And Zvika, you know, before we talk about again how you turn into action now, let's talk about your son, about Shauli.
My son, as everybody's son, he was a unique
one and only.
One and only. But what really I can say about Shauli is that his willpower to serve the country, despite his illness, he didn't see in the dark, he made all the efforts to be there, to be in the army for the whole service. He served, I think, 4 years. And then he decided on the 7th of October that he's going to fight this time for the country. And he left everything. He wasn't even registered in the reserve army, but he made 2 weeks. He went from office to office just to make sure that he will be able to go in.
Front lines.
And he found a friend, Shai Shamris, that served with him as an officer. And he told him, listen, you have to find me something to do. So he said, okay, you can be with me in the front to be my kasha, how do you say it?
On his team, on his
team in the front. And that's how they fought together. They didn't leave each other. And they died together on the same occasion, the same time.
And you know, it's amazing, those revolving doors type of a thing, because your son inevitably would have become a national symbol, either in one path as Israel's candidate to the Eurovision contest, or now as a symbol of light. And before we talk what is happening from now on, you know, Ruth, I've read one of your interviews, and you said, we are not the type to ask why.
Well, to ask why is a question that you never have the answer. So it's really causes a lot of despair. But if you, in Hebrew, it's the same letters, lama velema.
Why and what for?
Right.
Yeah.
And we grew up in, you know, the religion tells us to be all the time, to understand what you're doing things for. If you ask why, it's in the past, and what for is in the future.
Wow.
So I think that the past is, unfortunately, that's what it is. We don't ask too many questions. We don't blame anybody. We love all the country, the army, the people. I think that if you would ask Shauli, would you do it again? We all say, yeah, we are sure he would be. But the question why, doesn't let you lead you anywhere.
And speaking of the past intertwined with the future, Leah Schneerer, the last time we've talked here on I24 News was just a bit over a month ago, International Holocaust Day. And then we spoke in your capacity as a second generation to the Holocaust. And you're also a bereaved family. This is the story of Israel, no matter how you look at it. And in both instances, you're utilizing, again, the pain, the hardship into action, and this resonates what we've just heard from the Greenglics, the past leading the future.
Absolutely, and it's connected.
Yeah.
It's connected. When my parents came, from Auschwitz, when all the family got murdered there, and they came, and because of them, we caught the country. We caught the country because of the Holocaust, that survived. And they came to Israel with such a passion, with such love, after they lost everything that they had. And my mother and my father met when my father was a soldier, because the first clothes that he came when he landed in Israel was uniform. And my father served the army till his last day. The connection, Shoah letkuma. I don't say it's from Shoah to Eretz Israel, to the states of Israel, is so connected. So I'm also, my
From
mother
survival to revival.
Yeah, absolutely. And my mother is also a Holocaust survivor, and she is also a widow of...
And now you are spearheading not just the second generation, but also Yad Labanim, the chairwoman of the Friendship Association.
Yes, absolutely, because look, today, like about an hour ago, we lost another beloved, one of our soldiers. Another family got into the, in this horrible pain. All their lives just collapsed. And we say, after 7th of October, we got in such a situation that the parents that lost their dear ones got like a one big, sad, and falling apart family. And when they phoned me and they said, Leah, we know you're part of our family. And we saw what you did with the Holocaust survivor and what you did with Yoni Katz-Asher with these two children. And that we need help. This is the first time that the organization of Yad Labanim said we need help. They need help to support those dear families that the most precious thing in their life, they lost it. And I think that every Jewish person around the world or here in Israel would have want to come right now to hug you and Tzvika, to hug all the families in a big hug, and they ask what we can help you, what we can do in order to lighten a little bit your pain. Because I think the most horrible thing after this war will be that most of the people are heartbroken. They need somebody to support their soul, I know that you went to Cyprus, to this forest, and we need to support them here in our country.
And the desire of diaspora Jewry to help here. So before you explain us how you do this, how you're going to do this in the coming months, in the coming years, Tzvika, how do you move from a state of most profound grief to action mode?
Yeah, first of all, as my wife said, depression is an option, but it's not a good one to decide, and this is not something that we would like to become. And we need, of course, you mentioned the Cyprus weekend that we had with Yad Labanim, and I think one family together took 11 families. It was a great time together, and they brought two ladies that give us treatments. This is what we need, to be alone, to be with ourselves, and to get support for our children, that they are a bit, the brothers and sisters of Shauli. They are part of the family, and they need to get help. Also, treatment.
Mental.
Mental treatment, of course, that's what I'm talking about. And I believe that what they did in Cyprus in the secret force to us, I hope that it's only a start.
Yeah.
And that we'll get it in the following days also.
So Leah, now if we're talking about
to open a place,
the bereaved family
cover,
expanding, it also brings the entire mishpocha, from all
the
world.
families. As I said, here we are all big family. In Israel, we are all big. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody is in pain with everybody.
But now you're heading on a mission to connect
the
diaspora Jewry
to the cause. To this thing. First of all, to really hug them with mental support. They need, from the brothers to the sisters to the parents, they need, first of all, to get, mental support to become stronger and stronger, because we don't have any choice. We want to live in this country. We have only one country, and we have to support with our children. This is the second generation, every families. And another thing, that a lot of the soldiers that got killed, they were really supporting their families. A lot of them, they have children, they have wife, they have children, or also, if they are not married, they're supporting their families. And after they got killed, the families
lost their jewel of the crown.
Absolutely, jewel of the crown, and also to support their. They don't have anybody to earn the money for them. If the woman is now got, with 2 little children, got alone, and the children, and you have the problem like any other things. To go and to, I think, is to let the people outside of Israel to feel a part of Israel. Is to get and to really say, we are here and we want to really to be together with you, to support whatever you want, mental, also economically, financially, everything, because we are one big family.
And it really speaks to something you've said in a few weeks ago, Ruth, that one of the most touching or powerful parts of the Shiva was not just all those who knew Shauli and came to share their condolences, but those who didn't. And they were from all around the country and all over the world even, who came to pay their tributes and to support you. And this is exactly what we're talking about.
And you wake up in the morning and you want to think of what you're doing today. How do you go back to your work? How do you... Listen, I have a clinic, I treat other people. So how would I do it if I have all the time the worries of how will I manage? How will I take... And we're like, we're limping. And when you're limping, you need somebody to
rely on.
To rely on.
Absolutely. And I think that Yad Labanim is an organization that I remember as a child, since I lost my father, that was also a home. It was always a home, that if my mother needed mental, if she needed something, also trips for the children, also, summer schools for the children. Also, I felt that I can pick up the telephone, somebody will answer, that that part of me. It's not, and this is, I think, the most family. And I want to tell, I will take Shauli because everybody knew Shauli. And when I looked at Shauli, this is the example of Israeli. When he came to sing with the uniform, and I said, I never knew him, I never knew you. And I looked and I said, where else in the world, an officer is coming and singing? But this is Israel. They had everything. It's like, like you say, Israeli salad, they have everything. The pride, the joy. We are proud of our country. We are proud in each of one of our soldiers. And I want to make sure that you all have a home that you can always call, that you feel that we are with you.
Yeah, this is the new reality here in the country for decades. All those bereaved families, this entire nation are shattered, and you will soon embark on a trip abroad to, again, bring those communities around the world to Israel. Tzvika, before we conclude our conversation, as we are heading towards this abnormal, normal, the future in which our hearts are, it's ground zero to an extent, October 7th. If we were second generation to the Holocaust or third generation, now we're all first generation again.
Yeah, we are.
What is your message?
My message is to be united. And to be united, there is only one way that we will be able to be united. To say it again and again doesn't matter, but I'll give you a hint how to do it. Good eye on the others. Good eyes. This is a way, if you can think about the people that you hate, but if you can give him a look and something good in him, and to give it, to live with a good eye to the others. Like, I don't know if you know the story about my car that I hit, and the lady that I hit didn't want money, and then I sent her money, and then she told me that the garage didn't want to take money. All these people, to hit a car, it's the most thing, you can kill the guy that did it.
Right.
And now suddenly, because they find something good in me, I don't know why, and then they decided not to take money. You think this is a way.
Kindness,
only good eyes.
generosity.
And you know what you said now, please, and I said also to you, you have to look at each other, to touch
To
each
see
other,
each
to
other.
hug, and to start touching with each other and to look at the eyes, and really to be together. And only in this way we can take these horrible days.
Tzvika, Ruth Greenglick, Leshner, with this boost of kindness and generosity. Thank you all
Thank
so
you.
very much
Thank you.
for speaking with us tonight.